Well, this was one of the things that the Heritage Foundation was calling our attention to. Another thing, a few weeks ago in Tysons Corner, Virginia, Mark Levin, the radio talk show host and president of Landmark Legal Foundation, was at Borders Bookstore. He was supposed to start signing the books at 11 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, people started lining up outside. Pretty soon, it was several blocks long. And one man that came at 9:30 got in at 4 o'clock to get his book. And his book is Liberty and Tyranny, a Conservative Manifesto. My friend Cynthia found the book at Walmart in Mount Pleasant, and I have it, and I'm going to read it. And it just shows that people are hungry to hear the word. This book was released March the 1st. It is now the bestseller list on Amazon.com. And I have repeated this phrase. I don't know who said it, but I like it. When the people fear the government, that's tyranny. When the government fears the people, that's liberty. And we need to speak out loud and clear. We have, I don't know whether you, in your local paper, you all are listen to or read, it's Thomas, isn't it? Thomas Sowell's column. And he's talking about the influence that people have. A couple of years ago, it looked like a done deal to pass an amnesty bill for illegal aliens. And I don't know how many million, it was double digit, that they were considering. And it was going through the Senate with bipartisan support. But guess what? The people spoke up, and it came to a screeching halt. So that's the power of the people. And he said something else I like. He said, nothing is inevitable in a democracy unless the public lets the political spin masters and media talking heads lead them around by the nose. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want anyone leading me around by the nose. Another one here is from Senator John McCain. I don't know whether you all have that or not, but in it, it says, one of the greatest rip-offs of the taxpayers and the nation's defenses in history. Congressmen and senators tried to divert $23.5 billion that could be used to pay for vital weapons, instead forced the Air Force to lease 100 of Boeing's 767 airliners, with the taxpayers paying for their conversion to military tankers. One of the colleagues called it a pork barrel handout. He had seen one of the worst that he had seen in his 23 years on Capitol Hill. Fortunately, working with Citizens Against Government Waste, they blocked that. You have some suggestions for writing letters to the editor. And I want every one of you sit down and try to write a letter and speak up, because if we don't, we're going to have national health care, and you won't like it. And you can also call, you have your legislator's number, just call or email them or send them a fax and say, we don't want this. And it will make a difference. I know that lately, well, not lately, Obama has appointed over 18 czars, and lately he's appointed another one called a pay czar. Do you know what the definition of a czar is? I looked it up. I wanted to understand. An emperor, a person having great, often absolute or dictatorial power in a certain capacity, office, or jurisdiction, such as a czar of baseball, czar of the underworld. That's a wide range. What I don't understand is once they appoint these czars, Congress doesn't have any control over them. And I don't understand why Congress is sitting still for it.
Actually, I was a teenager when World War II came along. This is exactly what Hitler did. It sounds Russian when you say czar. This is exactly what Hitler did in Russia. He put these people in, and they couldn't answer to anybody but him.
Well, you're right. It's
I thought took typing about that time and said now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country.
right. Okay, I found what I'm looking for. John McCain is talking. My experience strongly indicates that current defense spending is not enough and too much of it is being terribly wasted. To understand the type of problem we face, just look at the Air Force's fleet of C-130 airlifters. If you're not familiar with them, it is a propeller-driven aircraft that is often used to drop parachuters and can deliver troops, weapons, and ammunition near the front lines. Okay. Over a 21-year period through 1999, the Air Force requested just 5 of these $50 million airplanes. However, they got 262 because they are built in the home districts of some of Congress's most influential members. He wants to get them reelected so he can get reelected. And it's just not the expenditure of billions of tax dollars on unneeded C-130s. A $1.5 billion ship was funded that the Navy doesn't need and didn't want. It was built in the state of one of the most powerful U.S. senators. That's how your money is being spent. If they would curtail all of this pork barrel stuff, he wouldn't be having to raise taxes through his energy bill and everything.